First, their monitored prices, sir, were I think for N95, 120 pesos. For certain suppliers, what's a range of 105 to 120. And for N88, it was also below what were the world prices for N88.
Thank you, Chairman. This is now our second hearing on this matter. Last Wednesday, we had our first hearing, and during that hearing, I asked several questions to seek clarification on several issues. And I have found out, or rather I have clarified 4 issues. One is that there were no overprice that were done on the purchase of masks. And this was according to the testimony of no less than Chairman Mike Aguinaldo himself, that the report of the COA did not even mention any overpricing of the mask. And this statement was corroborated by his subordinate. I forgot the name. It was a female staff. But anyway, it was clearly established that the masks were not overpriced. Number 2, the procurement process was legal and even went over and above what was required under the Bayanihan Act. It was also established during that hearing, or clarified during that hearing, that the procurement of the mask using the Bayanihan 1 Act was exempted from Republic Act 9184. So therefore, the negotiated procurement under emergency cases was purely legal on that matter. Number 3, there are no ghost deliveries. Goods were delivered and payment was made after the delivery. The several resource persons testified that there were certificate of inspections, there were inspectors from the different agencies who inspected the goods. And number 4, the local manufacturers were not boxed out of the procurement of the face mask. In fact, one of the resource persons, I think it was Yusik Lau, showed us that there were 17 suppliers who supplied PPEs, and there were 8 suppliers who supplied face masks, contrary to the perception that Pharmally cornered or got the bulk of the 42 billion pesos. Now, I'll now go to the questioning. Do we have a representative from DTI? May I ask ComSec, Marivic, if we have a representative from DTI?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Anybody from DTI?
Chairman,
Your Honor, I'm here. I'm Claire Cabuchan from DTI, sir.
Yes, Asec. You're Asec, di ba?
Asec, sir. Asec po.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, Asec, one of the duties and functions of the DTI is, or rather, the mandate of DTI, one of the mandates, is to monitor prices of basic commodities in times of calamities or emergencies. In March 2020, that was the onset of the pandemic crisis, di ba? Now, did you ever make or did you set a price ceiling for face masks during that time? Kasi di po ba ang DTI gumagawa tayo ng price ceiling kagaya ng isda, karne, or bigas pag merong kalamidad, hindi po ba? Hindi po ba ganun pong ginagawa ninyo? Nagsiset kayo ng price ceiling?
Your Honor, under the Price Act, the DTI is one of the implementing agencies. But for the masks, it was the Department of Health, Your Honor, that set the ceiling for masks.
So, on March of 2020, wala po kayong ginawang price ceiling or market price study of masks on March 2020.
Your Honor, actually, DTI started monitoring the prices of masks in January because of the Taal explosion, sir. So, when the COVID pandemic also set in around March, we continued monitoring not only for the Taal eruption, but also because of COVID. So our Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau has been monitoring the supply and the prices of masks in the market, but it was the Department of Health that set the ceiling
What was
for
your
masks.
price monitor at that time?
Sir, for the monitored prices, our Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau had first their monitored prices, sir, were I think for N95 120 pesos. For certain suppliers, what's a range of 105 to 120. And for N88, it was also below what were the world prices for N88, sir.
Let me clarify again.
Yes, sir.
You said that at that time, the price that you were able to monitor for face mask was around 100 to 120 pesos. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Around March, let me check my notes again, sir. For N95, our monitored prices were, yes, 105 to 120.
Okay, thank you, Asec.
Yes.
So, my colleagues, clearly, the price of 27 pesos and 72 centavos that were supplied by Pharmally was way below the price, the monitored price of DTI. Hindi po ba, Asec? Kasi yung price monitor ninyo is 100 to 105, even 120 pesos. So could you say that the price of Pharmally when they supplied it at 27 pesos was reasonable enough? That's only 1/3 or less than 1/3 of the price that you yung price monitor na ginawa ng DTI, hindi po ba?
Your Honor, I was referring to N95. But if the masks were N88, it would be lower. But based on our monitoring reports and the study conducted by the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau of the DTI Consumer Protection Group, the prices that have been monitored, the monitored prices and the suggested retail price set by DOH are lower than the market price and even world market prices, Your Honor.
Anyway, thank you. But it is very clear that the supplied masks were lower than the price that you monitored. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
My next question would be, thank you, Asec, po. Thank
Thank
you
you very much.
It's just